Can we start there?
And also Bobby Firmino not in the Brazil squad. Let us know in the comments. What should we start with? Let's ask them.
Let's start on the FSG one. FSG. Come on, they all want to know.
They're all here for that. They're all here for that.
That's like a mad thing. A mad thing. Yeah. So here's my perspective.
What was your reaction to that when you first saw it yesterday?
So I'm a little bit just confused. I saw your video that you posted on the COP TV Instagram, which explains it a lot better for me. But the original headline I saw is FSG want to sell or put Liverpool up for sale. That's the first headline I saw from David Ornstein, James Pearce retweeting it and whatever have you. So in my brain, I'm thinking, whoa, they want to sell them before, because we've had in the past where we've had minority shareholders getting involved with the club. You mentioned LeBron James as a prime example. So is this, but the question I want to ask, because my first interpretation is they're definitely selling the club. Turns out that's not the case. They're just open to investors and open to the possibility. So they haven't ruled out selling the club, but they also are very...
Because they remain fully supportive and committed to Liverpool.
But is that just until a bigger investor comes in, or until a new owner comes in? Because it's the way they worded it was remain committed. Of course, until... Why would they just throw the bags away now and not care about Liverpool? Just because they're looking for new investors. So my question really is, are we looking for minority shareholders, majority shareholders, both, or are we looking for new owners? And they're trying
I think it's a bit of everything. I think if the right person let's just get this straight. The highest bidder is going to win that. Yep. Whether you're Qatari, Saudi Arabian, American, it doesn't matter. And that's where I think us as fans feel like we should have at least some say in this process. Now, I agree with you. When I saw that, it's black and white, Liverpool up for sale. You saw all the Instagram posts, Liverpool up for sale, up for sale. It was
weird the way it was.
But then the opposing statement comes out that says, no, we're not up for sale. We're looking for investors, shareholders, and we will remain fully committed to the club. Now, massive contradiction, really. It creates a lot of confusion within the fan base. So the question is, what do they want? Do they want to sell? Do they want to bring more money in? If they can make someone like a LeBron James, just for example, put more money into the club, does that allow us to go back into the transfer market and maybe get a couple more midfielders in time to face Real Madrid in February and March? Does it mean that they want to sell to the highest bidder, which they would never say no to? If someone came in, let's not forget, by the way, they bought the club for 300 million. They can now sell the club for 5 billion, which is a markup of maybe 200%. I mean, it's even probably more. It's more.
Even more.
Which, in terms of, is that good business for them? That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable
for
business.
10 years. That's in 12 years. That's an incredible turnover.
Incredible.
But the thing that Liverpool fans need to know is we can't. I mean, again, is there any clean multi-billionaires in the world? We don't know. But you said it yesterday. The Liverpool way isn't to bring in the oil money. Isn't to do a Man City or a Newcastle, a Chelsea, even a PSG. That's not our way. Now, are we going to have to throw away our own morals? Are we going to have to just basically accept what FSG do for us? Because they've got our future in their hands right now. And Mario, what do you think? Do you think it's good news? Is it bad news? Because relatively speaking, they have been a safe pair of hands. They haven't invested as much, but they have been a safe pair of hands so far, I would say. What do you think of the situation?
Yesterday, when I read the news about the selling, I was like, same like James, like confusing. I didn't know what to think, because when they took us in 2010, we had too many debts, and after the George Gillett and Tom Hicks. So in 12 years, they did too much for our team, and we have to appreciate that. They are not Liverpool supporters. For them, Liverpool is not like for us. For us, Liverpool is a passion, it's a love, it's everything. For them, it's just business, and I understand that. In point of view that probably they could spend something more because they love the profit. You know, the perfect example is selling Coutinho for 140 million and buying Van Dijk and Alisson for exactly the same money. So they didn't spend nothing in that transfer market. And from point of view that, of course, I wish. I don't want any like Arabic, like any sheikh or stuff like that, because this is not Liverpool culture. It's not Liverpool tradition. We've got a massive heritage, and it's not the way we make business. But I would like someone who spent a little bit more.
But
I don't know.
That's where it gets dicey, don't Mario? Because Liverpool fans are saying, well, we want money.
But we want it to be clean.
A lot of money,
but spent like a bit more than, making. Don't think just about the profits. because they are businessmen, they're not supporters.
But
I
Mario,
will say
do you
again.
know all these ins and outs that you want? It limits it down to a very select few people who are in that
Exactly,
position to take
because
over Liverpool.
I think the future of Liverpool is for someone who really cares about Liverpool as a everything, as a structure, as a culture, as a tradition. I don't want to change name of Anfield in 10 years, like from Anfield to like I don't know, like Emirates or wherever. I don't know that. I don't want that. And even the cup, everything, and the prices of the tickets. I want to keep the same prices, because football is for everyone. It's not. I know at the moment in the last 10 years, football is just business. Come on, this is the truth.
Oh, yeah,
It's just business. It's just business. Everybody try to make money with football, and this is what is it? Of course, it's a modern football. Unfortunately, I don't like that. For that reason, we are a bit like different. We make success with probably with less money. We make success because we had Jurgen Klopp. And he made miracles in the last 5 years with not like too much money to spend. If you compare with Man City, if you compare with Paris Saint-Germain, now Newcastle, the same situation. So I would like to see someone who really cares about Liverpool. And I don't want to shake someone from Qatar or stuff like that.
I can promise you, whoever
because I'm not a racist. I want to say I'm not a racist,
Obviously,
of course.
we know that, bro.
But it's against Liverpool tradition. So.
No, I get what you're saying.
Well
I get
done,
like you want an owner who does it a specific way and whatnot. I just think you get dicey when you want someone who's got more money than FSG.
Exactly.
It's very impossible, or not impossible. I think it's very difficult though to get someone who aligns to all the cultures of the football
impossible,
club.
really.
It's
just
that really is the
hypocritical.
best way to
Exactly.
describe it. It's impossible. So whoever it is, if we do get new owners, which I'm not even sure if we're going to get new owners, but if we do, regardless where they stand, there's a load of shit going on right now. You'd have Roman Abramovich at Chelsea, you've got City's owners, Newcastle's owners. All these rich people have got seedy shit going on with their lives. It's just something that, as a fan, you need to just try and stay in love with football for the reason you fell in love with it. Connect to the players, the manager, and try and have that as your thing. But obviously, as YouTubers and content creators, we're going to talk about these things. Would you prefer, let me ask it this way, are you FSG in or out?
I'm kind of neutral in the situation, and I say the relatively safe hands because we've not really had financial issues or problems like we did before FSG
How's the fence that Alex
came
is
in.
sitting on there, chat?
No, I've got
Tell them
splinters
in the comments.
I've got splinters on this fence that I'm sitting on, but maybe that's a bit of both. We were saying that we want someone with this and this. It's impossible, but I think what we have got right now, and listen, I'm not for 1 second allowing them to get away with the lack of investment. That's why I'd be more open to more shareholders, if that makes sense. But we've heard that Goldman Sachs, we've heard that JP Morgan are putting together the proposal to sell the club. I've heard that they've apparently spoken to Qataris in June, allegedly. So it's about finding the right person. But I wouldn't be too happy to see them go in a way, because yes, the lack of investment is a big thing, and we should talk about that, and it needs to get better. But look at when they came and saved us. And I say saved us, we were weeks away from going into administration.
Bankrupt, yeah. Bankrupt.
So they came in 300 million. They've turned us around into Champions League, Premier League winners. Obviously, most of that is down to Jurgen Klopp. No one can deny this man has
probably
not
90%.
90%, I would say.
They appointed him. If you employ,
Yeah,
but they saved us in 2010.
So yeah, if you employ Jacob to do your podcast and we get the level of podcast that we do on a week-to-week
Then
basis,
we've got to thank Jacob.
We've got to thank Jacob, but that means we've made a good decision by coming here.
So you have to commend FSG for that. Now,
of course you do.
Obviously, we're all so stressed about the lack of money, etc., etc. They can invest. I don't want to hear this. We can't invest, because we can. We have got the money to do it. However, this process now, and I think the original statement that came out from Ornstein yesterday, and then the one after it from FSG, do you think the FSG statement was to maybe protect the image of the club, knowing now people know that we've been putting sales decks together and shopping around for the best man or woman? But do you think that FSG statement after the Ornstein one has maybe come out to defend themselves and say, actually,
I think the purpose,
what is it for, that statement?
The purpose that is saved in this situation is genuinely only seems to me confusion. I think that in a desperate position where they know the fans in the short term are going to be pushing them to spend, I think they are coming out with a plea for investors because they know they can't spend the money themselves. And yes, you're right, they do have the money. The interesting thing I learned when I was on door to door, right, is people with high outgoings are actually just as skint as people who live in in
it's all
rows of
relative.
houses because their outgoings are much higher than what
More money,
poorer
more
people would
problems.
be. More money, more problems.
Exactly.
Shout out Biggie
So the thing
Smalls.
about
Exactly.
FSG is they haven't just got a nice house, they haven't just got a lovely car, they haven't just got a family to provide for, but this family expects like the luxurious lifestyle. It all complements each other based on the fact that they've got other businesses and ventures, like other clubs and things that they want to buy. And, you know, over in America, they've got other projects. That's why they have saw an opportunity to get Liverpool out of the shit, get it for 300 million.
300 million
at the time.
300
Only
million
oversaw
time.
it,
2010.
Saw a big opportunity, even if it was just a little bit of profit. Make a little bit of profit. If we go even further, then even better. And if that then goes well, brilliant. But the thing that I've noticed is they've maximised everything they can do with Liverpool. They know they're probably not going to get another Jurgen Klopp after Jurgen leaves. And therefore, getting bigger investors would make a hell of a lot more sense, because then you can go out and spend in the January, then people aren't getting on FSG because maybe they just can't spend because they've got to put money into other ventures and stuff like that. So because of the financial fair play stuff, something that's been developed for years and something they would have noticed, it's like, okay, well, now that we've got financial fair play, we can just use what the club makes, put that back into the club, not use any more than that and make the club sustainable that way. Brilliant. Now they've done that job. But now we want to kick on. So if we want to kick on, bring in new investors, and it's got to be the right one. So I suppose you can actually praise FSG from a point that they're looking to find methods to improve the situation of where we can invest more. The only thing is that they've been saying that they're going to do that. They've been talking about getting new shareholders involved with the club. This has been a thing that's been going for years, and they're making it out like it's new news. So it comes out, they want to put the club up for sale. And then they come out to go against that statement and say, no, we'll still remain committed to the football club, which is something we already
Until we sell it.
We sell it. So it's like, but we already knew that.
Yeah.
So like you said, very contradicting, but
you've summed it up really well there, Jay, I think.
Do you think that they selling the club for, I think the biggest reason is because of the European Super League, because they wanted the European Super League to make more money. So we didn't get it.
Very good shout. I didn't think of that.
No, this is important point.
Because they were very for that.
They were like, we want to do it. Them and the supporters, everyone, of course.
Yeah.
We know the situation with the Super League. Yeah. Probably that's one of the reasons that they want to sell the club.
Just quickly go through the super chat. Amazing comments. Really is dividing opinion here. Bertro12, thank you so much for the super chat. If you want to send in a comment that definitely 100% gets read out, then make sure it's a super chat if you can afford to. He says, in 10 years, majority of top clubs will be owned by the super rich. Think it's just keeping with the time, in my opinion. Love the channel. Big up to you.
That's true.
It's so true. Like,
that's
what
true.
People need to realize is, okay, so even if we don't get these owners that don't align with the football club and whatnot, fair, but then you're not competing at the top level. So it just depends what you want for your football club. And to be honest, do you know
what? You say that, and Shawnee Lawson, who's been on the podcast before, big up to
like
you.
Shawnee.
Yes, Sean.
He says, look, if Liverpool winning trophies, will anyone be asked, really?
No one will give a fuck. That's why City fans don't give a fuck. Newcastle don't give a fuck about their situation, because they know as long as I'm seeing good stuff on the pitch, it's all la-di-da-di do. Like, Mike Ashley, although Bellend has probably done less worse shit than the current owners that they've got. But who do they hate more? They hate Mike Ashley more. Now, whether that's right or wrong, it's fine.
Careful what you wish for, isn't it?
Because they care about the on-the-pitch stuff, as most football fans do. So unless you go to every game sitting in the stands thinking, I'm so happy we're 10th, but at least we've got culture, at least we've got everything there, then fine, you're going to enjoy football the same way. But most football fans don't. They think, how can we win this game of football? How can we win this league title? How can we win this cup competition?
James, imagine how weird it is for the Newcastle supporters from the name of the stadium, from St. James's Park to Sports Direct Arena.
You just wouldn't be able to get away with that.
I think this is the worst part of the football. I think if you want to buy us, okay, no problem. Invest money, but leave the names of the stadium, of the stands, and everything.
But again, Mario, like,
it's,
as you're not a businessman or
I know,
not a businessman,
of course, but
you just don't realize how much money that'll make them by changing it from Anfield to, like what you said before, like the Emirates Stadium.
Yeah, wherever,
like
just,
literally any.
Which is it's horrible. It's gonna be.
It's a big shame. It's just that's how money's made, my brother. It's like Barcelona Camp.
I'm not agree with that.
Isn't it the Spotify Camp Nou?
It is now.
Yeah.
How much more money can that make you, by the way?
A lot more money.
Just change the name of the stadium. It makes you a lot more.
I don't care.
Because that
if
is
you want to bring
associated in
money,
a package, you know, one sec, Mario, that's associated in a package the same way us YouTubers will put in a package what we can offer. It's the same way there. So it's like, okay, what we can give you is obviously shirt sponsorship. We can give you, like, yeah, the way they're doing, like, when a new album or something comes out, they'll put it on the front of the shirt. We can do that. And we can put it on the stadium. So whenever someone's coming to the stadium, we'll call it the Spotify cameo.
You know what?
Spotify then say, okay, then that's worth the extra zero. Here you go. An extra zero that Barcelona very much needed. So although it goes against football morally, on a business sense, Mario, whether you like it or you don't, my friends, it makes money and it adds zeros. And
but we're going to protest against that, definitely. Spirit of Shankly, they're not going to stay like this.
No, it's not going to change.
It's not going to change for Anfield, that's for sure.
No, listen, it's all true. I mean, Old Trafford could do with a new name. Cold Trafford, Mold Trafford, if anything.
That shit.
The best one is Old Trashford.
Yeah, Old Trashford. Love to see it. Apparently a Norway consortium wants us, but there we go. Listen, we've got to move on because we've got other stuff to talk about, but keep the chat going on in the comments. We want to still see it.
Smash a like as well.
Smash that like. Don't call them fools, but smash the like. They're beautiful people.